back to our daily programs. Now, a little bit different today because doing this way early. Well, not that early, but where the sun is fully out. Main reason I'm doing that today is because I have interlooming, I guess, things to do that that are usually done in a day. So instead of, you know, pushing the video back, I moved it up. So we're out in the sun. It's great. If it's any constellation, I think it doesn't really change what I have to say, just the scenery. But I appreciate when it's more darker, it's more calming. I feel like your cortisol levels are not that high when it's like dark in this moment. But since we're doing this so early, I feel like not all my thoughts are together. So this might be another filler episode. Kind of hate that. Mm-mm-mm. I was off my rocker, not gonna lie, my last videos. Very excited. Probably because, I don't know, I think because my body was healing. And finally get to really use it to its full extent. And I started to overdo it. Don't get me wrong, that video is wonderful in my eyes. But nobody really admires your great work. So you gotta take how it is. I love that video. Mainly because there was a lot going on. But now that we're back to our daily programs, nothing should really change. Feel at peace, not wasting any time. Valid distractions though. So distractions could be good and bad, but sometimes you gotta list off your distractions and the things you want as noise. Don't drown out the noise, but find a way to silence it. Because once you silence that noise and you're just focused on the main thing you want to do, I feel like you develop way more. But the way I word my things, I feel like I have to change it. I gotta stop saying like and feel. I gotta be more assertive when I come to talk to you, man. Even though it holds no power right now, but we're gonna get through it. Baby steps, baby steps. But I'm impatient. That's why I hate baby steps. But we got over the step of thinking everything I say and do is corny because once you're, self-aware, they say, or fully actualized, you start to think way more and then everything you say becomes disingenuous. But it's alright. Goals, goals, goals. Your main goal is your main mission, right? Some people's goals are just to live day by day to pay off their rent and have a nice little life. Me, on the other hand, I don't know yet. I think I'm getting this idea that the things that don't suit me or fit me well is a distraction. And sometimes it can come off like that, but other times it can really be helpful. The things you think start to deteriorate over value once you become older. Because time can also diminish and heal things. So if you just let that thing sit, it starts to rot. So that's why I used to think people who have done me wrong or individuals I used to love, I used to think they'll always stay like that. But I was wrong. Because in one of my videos, I always said there's always room to improve and evolve. So as I say that, it makes you think, can evil people change? And what makes a person evil? I feel like evil is a double-edged sword because in your eyes, something can be evil. In somebody else's eyes, it could be just a way to live. So there's no really such thing as good and bad. It's always a gray area. That is annoying. But I feel like once this camera is on, I put on a tiny persona, just a little bit, to make it feel more genuine. But everybody has a persona in their own light. So as I say that, just be concerned about the things you do. Who really knows who you really are, you know? Only you do, and sometimes you don't either. So just take it day by day, I guess. But I'm so impatient, bro. But I'm not too impatient to the point where I'm rushing. Finna take you to a spot today, man. A nice little spot. It's not for pondering or nothing like that. It's just a spot to sit. And I guess just chill. But sometimes the world around you really mitigates what you be thinking. Like you might have this goal, but then the distractions they don't overwhelm you, but it starts to take a part of you. So to the point where your distraction becomes your goals. Like, oh, I gotta get a job. Oh, I gotta pay for this. Oh, like the essentials. The essentials are not distractions, but they help you. But to the point where if you're hyper focused on your essentials, your main goals gets diminished. Like it starts to fade away. And you're just trying to live day by day. And that's what I was scared of. But another thing, I was very afraid. I used to put up on this front light, because since people always saw me as not a burden, but a weakness, So I always put on this front like I was just a fearless person. It's starting to fade away little by little, but I still got it here and there. But I feel like people just say that because of your appearance. People can just take or misconstrue what you think and what you know just by your looks. Like, say you're, an individual that's not that tall, or an individual that's not that strong. They start to brandish these things on you. Say you get angered one time, and you're like, oh, he has a Napoleon complex, or he has short people issues, or something like that. What's another one? Or if you're like, I guess, your appearance is everything. That's what I start to see. Your appearance is really everything. And I hate that it comes to that, but at the same time, you got to take it what it is. Yes, your appearance will hold you back in some categories, but it also will help you in some ways. But when I say appearance, I don't just mean, oh, you're good looking or you're pretty. No, I mean it in a way where you should understand that your appearance might help or diminish you, but it also can show you other things. Like, it could show you so many different ways to build yourself up. You know what I'm saying? So, I never thought that, because just by a certain way that I look, I will get treated differently. I see that. I see that now. You get treated way differently just by the way you look. And, that's very shallow, but at the same time, you gotta take it how it is. Makes you really think. No, that's a far kind of walk. This walk's kind of far. But as I go on, you tend to see things change around you very, very differently. Don't. There's a real reason to say that. You know? But now that I see it, I low key feel like I gotta find me just a sweet spot to also create, but you know, spit out what I'm supposed to be saying. Cause overthinking kills, yo. Not gonna lie. You like, oh, you gotta be like, dang, I messed up. I stuttered. Just like that and third. Oh, I tripped over my words, so I gotta delete the whole thing. I gotta edit it out. It comes to the point where if you keep on doing that, you're not gonna have any good things to say or content, you know. But there is a time where you gotta take that serious. Like music, if you got a couple mistakes in music, you might want to take that out. But sometimes mistakes can be created to the point where it makes the song even better. But like right now, there's such an oversaturation in almost every part of music. People think they can be an artist just because they got a boom mic and a laptop. That's why music is not how the way it used to be. Like before, not gonna be like an old head, like before the internet. But as I was saying, before we had this wide range of ways to stream music, you actually had to, study music. You actually had to know what you were doing. You couldn't just, search up type beats or instrumentals and then start flowing over. You actually had to use what you had. You actually had to be good at music to be published. Like the music actually had to be good. Because if it wasn't good, it wouldn't be noticed. So people took their time. Every meticulous beat, every meticulous lyric had a meaning. But now, as I said, since the saturation is so futile, like it's ubiquitous around the whole type of, I hate using this word, but the culture of music in any genre is just overflowing. So people think they can just drop anything and still there'll be a broader amount of people that will like it. So you can make garbage and people and people will love it. As people say, another man's trash is another man's treasure. So you can make some doo-doo garbage behind music and somebody will love it. So that's why I say, go out there, but don't be no hater, bro. Don't be like, oh, it is garbage, bro. Why is anybody listening to it? Okay, let them rock out. If you don't like the music or you don't like what they're saying, I know it's pretty obvious, just like, oh, mind your business. Yeah, it's pretty obvious, but it comes to a thing where you just gotta be like, okay, that's cool, and keep it pushing. Like, it gets to the point where why are you trying to diminish somebody else's values or what they think just because you don't like it? It's a difference to get them understanding, but to flip sides is way different. I'd rather you try to get me to understand your side than trying to be like, oh, your side is wrong, come on this side. You know? Now, if it's blatantly wrong, like violence or taking another person's life because, I don't know, they stepped on your sneaker, then I get it. But those are over exaggerated concepts. So I guess you gotta be very lenient when it comes to those type of things. And this is very weird for me. At this time, I'm usually doing PT, I'm working out, and I'm reading. It's a little bit different being this early, you know. Because as you get up in age, it's usually you're back in school or you're working. Those are two different. It's two only things, or you're just completely homeless, unemployed, a bum. Shoot. And the way I see myself, I could be doing all three of those, and I feel like I'm still not doing enough. It's not even a feeling. I feel like it's a fact. People tell me I'm not doing enough. Not only because, oh, you might be working, you might be doing school, but you're not. You're not on campus. You're not. You're not on the field. You're not practicing. You're worrying about some flimsy behind shoulder in your spine, bro. Like you're not really doing anything. Um, it might be hurtful in some aspects of your life, but you have to take it very seriously. Some things you do have to take with a grain of salt. But bro, as I'm like, listen, bro, as I'm speaking to you, bro, this one individual that watch my videos almost every day, a cool trooper, a respectful trooper. You gotta really take in consideration that your life is not that important until you do something with it. Cause like I hate to say this, cause I don't want to wish death on me, but if I die today, my close relatives, they'll be sad. But in a 6 month time span, they still gotta go to work. They still gotta worry about how to pay the bills. They still gotta worry how to put food in their belly. So yeah, your loss, it might be hurtful for your family, your close relatives, and maybe your friends, but that 6 month period, it's faded away. It's in the back of your mind. They still gotta pay bills. They still gotta eat. So even with that, man, some of the greatest people that died, they maybe it'll span over like a year or so, but you still gotta think, bro. You're insignificant, but significant at the same time. Cause I'm telling you, prior to that, I was like, you're a significant person. All right, we about to be about some construction, so the audio's gonna be bad. Just a heads up. But as the sound fades away, we're gonna get back to our conversation and what we were talking about. Um, mm, Now, as I'm speaking to you once again, the one thing I had in the back of my mind once I created this, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get laughed at, I'm gonna get clowned on. People wanna look at my videos and be like, what is he doing? He's a waste of time, bro. He ain't getting no views, he ain't getting no likes. It's a numbers game. Everything's a numbers game, bro. Everything's a numbers game. So you gotta figure out how to leech on that and how to make your junk better. It's either you're super talented, you're super knowledgeable, or you're using violence, or you know, freaking violence, drugs, you know, adult content. It's something like that. It's something 18 and up that catches the eye, you know? Because negativity captures and it captivates more attention way than positivity. Because it gets to the point where you're overusing positivity like how I used to. It gets corny. And I hate using that word because we just got over that step stool that everything's corny. It gets to the point where it's like, bro, you're saying these things, but not once have I seen you do anything positive to show that. You might say it, but you're not doing it, you know? So, as people, because, like, I see these great people, right? They give to the homeless. They feed people. They put clothes on people's backs. And they record it. People hate that they record it because they think they're doing it just for publicity. No, it's how they fund it. It's a paradox. You gotta do this one thing to create this another thing to finish the same thing you were just doing, bro. So, you gotta really console yourself, man. And I have passed the spot we were supposed to be sitting at. But that's okay, though. We gonna suck it up. Bro, but anyway, people say live life to the fullest, but you never know what's the fullest until you do it. I just think the word is so great because we got so many different minds. It's collective, and it creates these biggest things. It creates these things like not just homes and everything, but once upon a time, he had the same that person or that individual had the same knowledge as you, and they created something way bigger, not just a brand. I hate that word because it puts a title on things. Titles are needed, but sometimes it's frivolous.
How you
Doing
doing?
good. It gets a way to immediate distractions. That's why I said fame and notoriety is needed, but at the same time, do you really want it? Because I know I do. But why do I want it? Why do I so-called need that attention? Not because, oh, I think what I say and my opinions are worth validating, because once again, it's a lot of idiocracy around the world, bro. It's a lot of people that say things that I don't agree with or somebody doesn't agree with. That's just so unbelievably stupid, but they have enough followers or enough people that agree with them to make their words with power. So if I could get to the point where people are welcome and happy to see me, just to be in my presence, that'd be a wonderful thing. It feels joy in my heart when I'm making somebody happy, you know? Not because I want the attention, but I used to do things just to make people happy, just to feed their egos, because it made me feel happier. Well, I hate the word using happy, but it made me feel joy to see somebody in a better way to me. But when somebody does it to me, I'm full on. I have gratitude, but at the same time, it makes me think, why are you doing this? In my eyes, I'm not a horrible person, but I'm not the greatest. Nobody is. But so I'm like, why are you being so-called nice to me? I have done nothing wrong to you, but at the same time, people do it just the same reason I do, just to see other people happy. I get happy to see other people happy, or I get joy to see other people be joyful, you know? So you gotta think, some people have the same ideas as you, and I used to hate that. I used to hate not being the first to ever think of something, hate not being the first creator of something. That's why if I'm not first, I'm last. And I know that's very egotistical. Oh, you think you're gonna be the first in everything? No, I'm not even the first person to ever say something like this. But you can't just overthink it, you know? If you overthink it, what's the point of doing anything? You get anxious, you know? You start to get nervous. So right now, people doing it for the wrong reasons, but I feel like my reasons are not valid. They're not really, because I I want my opinions to be valid, you know? But at the same time, I like being a nobody, because I didn't even have to put my head down. I can have my head way high and nobody cared because I was a nobody. But now that has changed since I'm older now, and I don't have these bondages holding me down. Now I want to be a somebody. But everybody does, though. So right now, while this video is being created, I'm just a random, I hate putting the age on me, but a random young individual that that is just roaming around speaking to his phone. You know, I'm not taken serious yet. And maybe I'll never will, because I see some of the greats, it takes them years and years, but I'm impatient and I hate that it might take years. All right, man. We have hit the roundabout, and now we are going to the so-called secret spot to sit down. But I gotta get out my hometown, bro. I'm selling. If I'm being honest with you, I gave up an opportunity to play, not because of my ego, but just because I knew in the back of my head I was gonna get cut anyway. And I hate saying that, because I see myself in a higher light. I was already so-called injured, and I wasn't really doing that much. I was practicing every day, but feel like it wasn't really helping. you know. I might have to end this video right here because my human things are about to be interrupted. So see y'all guys later.